Halo teman-teman, dalam video kali ini saya akan mewawancarai Tristan, salah satu murid Timo Institute yang sekarang sudah tinggal di Jerman dan baru saja menyelesaikan ujian akhirnya di Studienkolleg. Baik, kita langsung dengar saja ya kisah dari Tristan. So
Okay.
Tristan, please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Tristan Petro Manasesiahan. I live in Paderborn. Um, I'm studying in the University of Paderborn, hopefully for international business or sports management.
You just finished the Prüfung, yeah, the final exam, yeah.
Yes.
How did you know for the first time about Timo Institute?
Well, I was looking for opportunities to study in Europe, and I find that Germany was a good option for me. So my father actually uh, looked around for German tutors for me, and he found Timo Institute through Instagram, and he texted the Timo Institute WhatsApp number, and then I got into Timo Institute. So basically, through social media, I found Timo Institute.
Okay. Now let's talk more about your German learning journey. Yeah. What are two things you wish you knew before learning German?
One thing I wish I knew before learning German was that I wish that I knew how long it would take to uh, understand the language completely, because it was very hard, especially in A1 and A2. It was difficult to understand the tenses or the pronouns. Now that I'm in Germany, it's very easy. And segueing to the second thing I wish I knew is that I was very scared of the German language or studying the German language and getting proficient in the German language. So I was kind of panicking, wondering if I could like really be fluent in German. So I wish I knew that it's easier to learn the German language in Germany than it is in Indonesia. Super different learning German in Germany. So I wish I had that like feeling of security that yeah, maybe I can get fluent in Germany.
Sometimes people or parents underestimate. They think learning German is like learning English. Do you think how long average people need to learn German until they are qualified, at least to apply for a Studienkolleg in Germany?
Well, if you're in Indonesia, I think it'll take minimum a year. If you're intense, I think it'll take 6 months. But if that's like you're studying maybe 5 hours a day on weekdays and then 2 hours on the weekends, it'll take 6 months. But if you're doing it progressively, it'll probably take a year and a year and a half. You will probably have to take an entire gap year
Yeah.
just to go into a Studienkolleg.
I agree with you, Tristan. It depends on how focused you are. But if you just learn like 2 times a week and only learning during the course and outside the course you didn't touch German, then
Yeah.
it will be like very long, yeah. If the students still in Indonesia, what do you think the easiest way to learn German?
I would put up my notes on my walls so I can always see what I want to learn, or like I could always see it. So when I look up from my laptop, I'm like, oh, I see the German notes on my wall. I'll read it for a bit and then go back to my studies. Because once you see your notes on your walls, you're like, oh, I should probably study it. And then you try. It might seem weird, but try and speak with your teacher, German teacher, a lot in German, because it really does help when you hear German back and you speak German as well. Another thing is try and apply it to your everyday life. Maybe change the language setting on your phone to German, or every time you see something like a restaurant or a cafe or a dog, try and think of the word in German so that it'll just be a part of your everyday life.
And what do you think the worst way to learn German?
I think honestly, I think doing it passively, like only once or twice a week, is the worst way to learn German.
Mhm.
You really have to do it every single day, even if it is even if it is for like an hour. It's fine if it's just for an hour if you're listening to a podcast per se, or writing something down, writing your thoughts down in German, or reading a German text. Just do it constantly. You have to do it constantly every single day. If not, then it's very hard to succeed in Germany. So just try and implement it to your everyday life. Don't
Yeah.
don't do it like once or twice a week. It's
Yeah.
impossible.
Based on my experience, when my students didn't do it consistently, like you said, only learning once a week during the course, the next time we meet again to learn, they already forget everything. So
Right.
we have to start again. I have to explaining again, and then it becomes very long, the progress. Yeah. What did you do to prepare for your final exams in Studienkolleg?
To make sure I'm prepared a month before the exam dates were actually given out, I started learning. I started going through every single material again. Obviously not only German, but also for me, in my case, it's economics and mathematics as well. I started going through every single note again and again. So, for example, in economics, I would go through every single week, every single presentation. I would write it down. I would then go to the Aufgabes they would give me so that I could prepare myself through questions. And uh, I would do it twice. So the first run through of the Aufgabes, I would do it while looking at my notes so I can like see. And then I'll do every single task again, but this time I wouldn't use my notes. So you can literally just write, you can write entire text production. You can give it to your teacher and the next day they'll give it back fully marked because they're more than happy to see actual students that actually want to learn the
Yeah.
language.
Mhm.
One thing they don't want to see is someone who just comes to class, doesn't speak, doesn't talk. The more you talk in German in the classes, the better you get. I think it's a great idea to just get more involved in the class and do more tasks than you need.
What is the subject that you plan to study in the uni?
I haven't decided yet, but it's either international business or
Mhm.
sports management.
Okay, very good. Yeah, in Paderborn University, yeah.
Yes.
Mhm. Okay, now let's talk about your life in Germany. Yeah, and exactly where do you live? Is it in apartment or Studentenwohnheim? And how did you find the place?
I live in a student in Wenheim called Studienkolleg. Once you get admitted to Paderborn, they give you a lot of information about how to live there or like contact people you can contact to find an apartment. So in this case, they gave me the emails of Studienware. I emailed them. Well, first I applied to them, but I didn't get an answer for about 4 or 5 months, and then I finally decided to email them, and they just gave me a contract for a room. So that was very lucky of me.
Okay, one side is your own initiative, and then the other side you also need luck, yeah?
Yes.
Now, what are two things you wish you knew before arriving in Germany?
One thing I wish I knew that uh, how much more expensive food is than it is in Indo, because in Indonesia, food is just you with your daily budget, you can go out, you could probably get like nasi goreng, martabak, all that street vendors everywhere. It's so accessible and for a cheap price. Any uni student in Indonesia, you can eat anywhere you want. But here, there's a very big lack of vendors and food options. The nearest food options or the nearest restaurants near me is either a doner place and Burger King, and both are like the exact same price. Food here, it's very expensive. Like I saw it for the first time. I think a kilogram of chicken for me in a little is almost 10 euros, which is crazy. And I've had a lot of struggle meals. Like I'll just eat rice with uh, pre-made katsu, which is a cheaper option. One other thing that I wish I knew before coming to Germany is that a lot of Indonesians say that Germans are very like strict, uptight, and maybe even rude. And I was really anxious about that. Like I don't think I would I didn't think I would make a lot of German friends if when I was here, but that's the complete opposite. They'll love talking to you. They invite you to talk to them. Um, I don't think I've met a lot of rude Germans ever here,
Okay,
even though
I'm glad to hear so far you have a good experience with the Germans. This is also my experience the first time I studied in Germany, but I think maybe because also our environment is kind of like academic, and
I see.
sometimes also lucky, yeah, because my friend experienced yeah, kind of like racism, but so far myself also like you. So far I find good people. Yeah, I don't experience really bad racism experience. And now, what are so far the best thing you experience living in Germany?
I think the friends I've made, mm, you meet a lot of other international students that's also in the same situation as you. They just came for into Germany at the same time, so they're experiencing the same thing. So you could help each other out. Also, it helps your friends help because um, a lot of people here helped me throughout my studies. Whenever I didn't know anything, I'll always ask them. Uh, I'll always ask my friends for company to the library or even to just go out. Uh, that's another thing. Like in Germany, you can't, it's not all about studying. Sometimes you do need a break, and having a lot of friends helps with that. German or international, they'll all like be more than happy to hang out with you because at the end of the day, we're all students.
And now, what are the worst thing you experience living in Germany?
One of the worst things I've experienced is everyone's gonna get it seasonal depression. Once October or November rolls around, daylight savings turn on, and the sun sets at an earlier time. It gets really cold, and you have no motivation to do anything. You don't even have the motivation to go out and to the library, and it's always hard to study in your room.
What is your plan to get through these phases?
Thankfully, I have a lot of things that motivate me a lot. For example, I go to the university gym, and the gym is something I don't want to skip. So I'll always have a reason to go out, to take in the air, to get sunlight, to see the sunlight. And um, like me, I have a lot of friends that go to the gym. So I'll always have a time to meet them. And after the gym, we'll always go, hey, do you want to go somewhere? It's like, yeah, let's just do something, anything other than staying inside my room. Nowadays, I usually only use my room to sleep in. I don't like to stay in my room for over like 2 or 3 hours. So I'll always find an excuse to go out with someone to do something. Uh, what really helps is my friends in the Netherlands, and my sister in the Netherlands. I could always visit them, because I have a Deutschland semester ticket. Travel isn't expensive for me, so I guess just do as much things as you can if you have the motivation. Visit your friends out of city or out of country. Just do anything other than stay in your room because you'll just end up being more sad.
Yeah, that's very great tip, Tristan. Thank you. So now the last questions. What is your plan? What is your next step after you pass the final exam?
Well, some short-term goals is that I would like to start working a mini job here. So I like to start working so I can get more money and not be very dependent on my parents. Some long-term goals is I'd like to go to the University of Paderborn. Obviously, I'm gonna explore my options even more to find out which is a better path for me to go to, either international business or sports management.
So my experience doing mini job, it is enough, yeah, to pay my living costs. But I have to warn you, Tristan, it is very sucking up your energy. Yeah, I think it's kind of like first you will get the worst mini job. I have to clean up the toilet, clean up the window. I have to cut the vegetables. I have to pick, all the stuff from the pickup to the basement, to the storage. When you finish your job, you have no energy. You just want to sleep. And I think for a long term, that's not good because our focus is to study, yeah. And finally, I find a job as a receptionist, but this is also initiative and luck because I bringing my my application, job application, and then I just go door to door, but hotel to hotel. Then I went to the second hotel, and then it happens they need a receptionist. Okay, so Tristan, thank you so much for our talk. I wish you, ich wünsche dir viel Erfolg für deine Zukunft, ya.
Yeah, thank you.
Baik teman-teman, demikian interview saya dengan Tristan, salah satu murid dari Timo Institute. Perjalanan Tristan untuk bisa melanjutkan studi di Universitas Jerman cukup panjang dan berliku-liku, tetapi syukurlah Tristan baru saja menyelesaikan ujian akhir di Studienkolleg dan sekarang siap melanjutkan hidupnya sebagai mahasiswa di Universitas Jerman. Semoga video ini bermanfaat dan bisa memberikan inspirasi bagi kamu. Cus!